All right, everybody, welcome back to the Lions Pit Podcast. I am your host, Nick Gomez, and with me today is Cory James, owner of Lost Edge Tattoo. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, appreciate you coming out here. I know it's a little bit of a trek, but I always tell people once you get out here, like the studio's dope, like we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, this place is nice. It's super cool.
Yeah, and you said you have done a podcast before?
I did one podcast with my friend, Joe. That was it. Talk about UFC and MMA and tattoos.
Just shooting the shit?
Yeah, basically.
Honestly, those are the best.
Yeah, it was great.
That was like when I mean, years and years ago, I used to joke with buddies about like doing a podcast, and that's all it was. I just wanted to like sit around and like shoot the shit with people.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's something I want to get into, get out there and, experience the whole being a part of, your journey here on your podcast is pretty dope.
Yeah. And that's it's all about is like, getting stories out there. Like people have cool stories and it's fun to hear them.
Yeah.
So so real quick, we know through our buddy Shane Keefe, shout out Shane Keefe and Austin Hines.
Shout out Shane, shout out Baby Goat.
Little Baby Goat, yeah. I just dropped his episode. This will probably air in like 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I almost wore the same shirt as the Baby Goat because that's our Lost Edge shirt. So I wanted to.
Should have rocked it. Fuck, I need to get one of those. So that's how you and I kind of got introduced was, I saw them posting about the work you had done with them. And so we followed each other and I saw that you were doing a bunch of cool shit and you're also really into like wellness and on like health and wellness and then fighting as well.
Yeah.
So before we get into the whole tattoo journey, how'd you get into fighting?
Actually, the first time I really like started training was for the Tattooed Gloves tournament. It's a tattoo artists fight each other at tattoo conventions.
No way. That's like I don't know if they do it here, but in Albuquerque they used to do like firefighters versus police officers.
Yeah, it was a charity thing that Keith Underwood put on every year. And I just signed up. There was a guy that I worked with and we would always talk shit to each other. And so we got in the ring and sorted it out.
Oh my God. Was it like good and like, or were you guys like actually had a little bit of beef?
We were actually bad blood and I think still do kind of. It never got hashed out.
Well, if you don't mind me asking, who won?
Oh, I won, of
course.
Okay. Yeah, it was one of the most vicious beatings in Tattooed Gloves history, so.
I'm actually not allowed back.
Yeah. No, it was super fun. The whole, training for it, the walkout, I mean, the fights were like a minute round, 3 rounds or something. So.
That's probably best.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, that's where people really get hurt is when they're exhausted. Yeah. And I mean, sounds like you hurt them anyway. But
we were gassed.
Yeah. Oh, dude, was that your first fight? Like a sanctioned legal fight?
Yeah, it was a USA boxing deal where you sign in, weigh in, the whole ball of wax. So
yeah, there's so much adrenaline.
Yeah.
In that first one. Then you see it. It's so common. Like every fighter's first fight, like they just blow their load. Like they get exhausted.
I was like sick after.
Yeah.
Like I got like the flu from being that exhausted,
Yeah. Did you do a weight cut?
No, I didn't. I walked in there the same weight that have walked around since high school.
Oh, nice.
155 and that's it.
Oh, shit.
I think he had to come down, quite a bit. So
okay. That's where a lot of people do get sick is from the weight cut because your immune system's so taxed from being so deficient and everything and being exhausted.
Adrenaline and the training right up to then, you're putting everything into it. So
yeah. How long ago was that?
The one that in 2017.
Oh, so not that long. Well, fuck, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was like 2 years ago. I'm like, oh, it's 20
ago.
Dude, I know. It's so weird to like think about that. Like 2017 was right around like the corner.
Yeah, but that introduced me to Richard Lord's boxing gym.
Oh, yeah.
So, then Tiger and, his fighters and throughout the years kept up with it.
That's awesome.
And now that MMA has just been booming, with all the new gyms and the new promotions that are coming up and the Contender Series and Paramount Plus. I mean, it's just crazy.
Fury does a great job with their promotions. Very good production.
I could talk about Fury all day long. I mean,
they're great.
Man, the guys that run Fury, shout out Rich, shout out Eric. Man, those guys are born for that.
Absolutely.
They are the real deal.
Yeah, I don't know them personally, but I feel like I kind of know like Eric pretty well because I had Andrew Craig on. Do you know Andrew Craig?
Yeah.
And I guess he kind of like grew up in like the Houston area with Eric and his brother. So I guess I don't know them personally, but I've hear a lot about him. I hear good things. And then Austin actually told me a pretty cool story where Eric had reached out to who is now kind of representing Austin as like management. And it was like, hey, you guys should probably like reach out to this kid. I was like, oh, that's cool. But they do a great job, man. They've sent several fighters to the UFC.
Oh yeah, the shows are fun too. I mean, even if they didn't like go to the UFC, if you never knew that, like going to the show is an absolute blast. I mean, I've been to the UFC events, on the floor, the whole ball of wax, and I have just as much fun at a Fury fight than I've ever had at any UFC fight. So,
I agree. Obviously, a little different venue wise, but I mean,
yeah.
Fury does a great job picking their venues. They're not like in ballrooms at the Sheraton, because that's my first fight was at a ballroom at a Sheraton. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a great promotion. They do the awesome walkouts. Honestly, it's probably the second best promotion I've been to behind the UFC, and that's obviously different.
Yeah, I think it's the path to the UFC,
Yeah.
now that I mean, as far as I can tell in Texas, for sure,
Yeah.
so
I think them LFA does a really good job, but I don't know how often they come to Texas. To be honest with you, they're big in they come to Albuquerque from time to time, California, Denver. Like they're kind of I don't know if they're more West Coast than anything. I haven't really seen them like on the East Coast or Midwest, but they send a lot of guys to the show. I know Anthony Pettis just started a new promotion,
Okay.
and I'm not sure how. I've seen a couple guys fight for it. It looks pretty legit.
yeah.
But yeah, you're right. MMA is booming, and I think with that, like the evolution of the game, you're starting to see, like Austin, kids that are training it.
Yeah.
Because every other sport, I played baseball since I was 8. I played golf since I was 4. But now you have Austin doing jujitsu since he was 4.
Right.
And it's like, oh, you're gonna start seeing actual athletes
Yeah.
getting into sport and not just brawlers.
Yeah, it's almost like when I was a kid, like skateboarding, right? Like it was punks and grungy, and we were just fucking around. And then all of a sudden, athletes came in, like Shaun White
Yeah.
came in. All of a sudden, then kids from the age of 4 were
Ryan
snowboarding,
Sheckler.
and then the shit just went ham.
Yeah.
X Games, this, that, right?
Tony Hawk, I think, was what blew that up.
That too. And then you have young kids, superstars getting promotions from huge companies.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing these kids have a path from wrestling to a professional sport. I mean, there's no other path,
right?
You
Yeah,
can-
there's no like minor. I mean, I guess
you could go to the Olympics.
for wrestling, yeah,
Yeah,
but after that, like, where do you make your money?
Yeah,
And that's not any, but that's a lot of Olympic sports.
yeah.
Like swimming.
And the
you know what I
amount
mean?
of dedication you have to put in wrestling from the age of 4 to 20, when you're doing it is insane to
Yeah.
not have a way to make money professionally after that.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. And it was kind of I know a lot of fighters at the time had an issue with it when like Reebok got the first like big contract for the UFC, because then they weren't allowed to like wear all their sponsors like on their shorts and stuff.
Yeah.
And like that's like taking money out of the fighters' pockets if they're not repping their sponsor. But the game has changed.
Yeah.
But I've always thought that for that exact reason that you just spoke to, I think wrestlers have an advantage in MMA because they are so used to being isolated. Like they are one-on-one all the time in their sport. Granted, you can score as like a team. Like my high school, the team did well, but so-and-so won state, but the team did well, whatever. But when you see like wrestlers getting into MMA, it's like, okay, they've been one-on-one. They're used to that. Don't get me wrong, there's still adrenaline.
The pain of the weight cuts are normal. They've come to Jesus on that whole deal.
Yeah, you meet your maker sometimes. You're like, what am I doing this for?
A lot of pressure, I know, from coaches and your family, and it's usually a wrestling family, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I mean that's the path now.
Yeah, luckily you've seen the evolution of the game itself. Weight cuts, like because in high school it's just kids, running around the gym in a trash bag,
right?
And that's so brutal. And granted, that's still part of it. You see guys wearing like sweatsuits still, like it is very much part of it. But you have dietitians that are working. You have people focusing on proper hydration. And then when you get to the UFC, they do a good job of like making sure you can still make the weight. Like they'll test fighters. I told the story recently of I used to work with Cowboy Cerrone. And he was at 155 for a long time, then went up to 170 and had some early success, but he was still kind of on the small side for 170. So he wanted to go back to 155. And this was kind of towards the tail end of his career. And he had to go to the UFC and like get a certain amount of tests done. And they're like, yeah, you can still make 155. Like it wouldn't be a detrimental weight cut for you.
Yeah.
So they're doing a better job of it, but man, weight cuts are still like the seedy underbelly of the sport.
Yeah, no, it really is. You hear a lot of even commentators and people around it. Like, what's the solution? More weight classes. Whatever it may be. There's really no good answer.
Yeah, man, I would love to see like a 165 weight class. I think everything, because it goes, 115, 25, 35, 45, 55. then 170.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it should go 65. So, because even after 170, it's 185.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why not go 165, 175? I think that would have been a perfect weight class for guys like Rafael Dos Anjos or Cowboy Cerrone, like that 165 sweet spot.
It'd be interesting to hear the answer to that from, you know, the top dog. Like, why is that? There must be a reason.
I don't know, man.
Be
because boxing has, you know, a dozen or more than that, like weight classes. They have weight classes like every couple of pounds, I feel like.
Yeah.
In some promotions, I know that they do you can do same day weigh-ins of the fight, which I think that's a bad idea. But some promotions will have you weigh in, obviously, day before, you make your weight, and then you can only weigh like 10% more than your weigh-in on fight day.
Okay.
So I think that would be a good way to kind of keep guys more of a natural weight. And you've seen that in boxing. Some guy like Ryan Garcia, I forgot who when he fought, but he had a hydration clause to where he couldn't weigh a certain amount on fight day. And he got it. That was a fight he lost, ate a vicious body shot.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it was a vicious body shot. But if he was a little heavier, like maybe he would have ate it a little better. I don't know. But some promotions do stuff like that.
Yeah, there's always a loophole and a reason why it's bad,
Yeah,
which I don't know, but there's sure there is.
I don't know. I have no idea. I've never been on that side of it. I've only done like strength and conditioning for fighters, and through my own experience, I know the nutrition side a little bit as well, but I'm not certified on that stuff. But yeah, man, it's been cool. Like I think a 165 weight class would be perfect for Shane.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm
sure there's a lot of guys that would fit in there.
Yeah, man. I heard a push for it a couple years ago, and then that kind of fizzled out at like the UFC. Yeah, man. I don't know. Again, what's the answer? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll let those guys figure it out.
Yeah, right. That's above my pay grade.
They do. Yeah. We'll watch. What did he say? Shut up and watch the fucking fights.
Yeah,
there you go.
Sounds like Dana.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, because you get the guys that like boo and like like we're talking about it off camera. Rogan saying that he's surprised Muay Thai is not popular because that's all the fun parts of MMA, but. Yeah. Again, if you know jiu-jitsu and you know what's going on, it's still entertaining.
Yeah, but it's hard to boo someone when they're kicking the shit out of each other, without any holding and grappling and sort of thing.
It's usually the people that have no idea what it takes to get in the ring.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like the guy coaching football on Sundays from his couch. It's that same shit.
Yeah.
So how'd you get introduced to like the 10th Planet guys?
So I sponsored just an individual fighter that was on their team, and then ended up doing kind of like a group sponsorship for their MMA team with the Comedy Mothership.
Oh, cool.
Ways to Well. And then so I trained there for a while, met all the guys, and so there's people kind of go their separate ways over time, just naturally. It seemed like in the fight game, it's the same in our business, go somewhere, hang out, grow on your own. And so I got amazing relationships with all of them, so it's been really
That's
good.
Awesome. And how long have you been tattooing?
Oh man, I started tattooing in 2007, 2009, kind of got going a little bit
that long
more.
ago. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, not that long ago, right? So it's been a minute.
Yeah, you said you're from Wisconsin originally?
Yeah, I'm from Wisconsin.
And did you start tattooing up there? Or?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did a lot of things. I worked at Harley Davidson from the time I was like 14 until like 20.
Oh, damn.
Did like, oil changes, started off washing bikes, oil changes, always had dirt bikes, hill climbs, flat track, had a bike for every sport.
Yeah.
But it was a winter, in Wisconsin, obviously winter kind of kills the whole motorcycle scene. So
that makes sense.
We always got unemployment, and then we found other shit to do. We'd go roofing or do some
which also sounds brutal in the winter.
Other gnarly jobs in the winter, whatever.
Ice fishing, deadliest catch.
Ice fishing, ice fishing, ice drinking, keeps your beer cold. That's about the whole thing. I had a friend who was a really good tattoo artist, which was very hard to find. There was very little tattoo shops around us, and nobody had really ever seen like the quality of tattoos that he was doing. So it was I got my friends, my brothers, and we just started hustling tattoos out of the house.
Okay.
And then, I slowly started to learn. My great grandfather was a pretty famous artist back in the day. He did a lot of stuff for like Schlitz and Pabst. And
oh, wow.
Designed the flag for Milwaukee.
No way.
Yeah, he did a lot of like caricature stuff at Hollywood parties. Like he did Liberace and Hildegard, and, he would go there and draw them like caricatures. Basically.
Yeah.
So, I was always told from a young age about this freedom of art and life and how everyone admired him so much, even though he died young before, anyone really got a chance to like be a part of our family. So he's just kind of like a legend.
Yeah.
So those two things kind of combined later on after the whole thing. I was like, okay, well, I was told young that I could do art and have a good life,
Right. Yeah.
and but when you're a kid, obviously you dismiss everything anybody ever tells you want to do, and you do whatever you want anyway. So it always comes back later, though. I feel like,
Yeah.
so that's kind of what happened to me, and then I started tattooing, just enjoying traveling around, going to tattoo conventions. But we just had portfolios that were printed on binder paper, basically. And yeah, we had backpacks and skateboards, hopped on a train to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, had our little books, and we just went to from shop to shop to shop to see if we could get a job, show them our book. They'd say yes or no. I was his apprentice, so I kind of came with him as like free labor.
Yeah.
So that was a bonus for the shop. So like, oh, this is my apprentice. He'll clean, he'll do everything, whatever he can pierce, he can do small tattoos, whatever. And so yeah, we did that. We traveled around and just cut our teeth in the wild, no phones, no money, no nothing, just tattoo machines, and you know that was it.
Yeah. And a pocket full of hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always had a good attitude.
Right.
We were so grateful at the time. I remember always talking to him, maybe in the morning, like, man, this is amazing, like how could anybody want to live any other way?
Right.
So we were stoked.
That's awesome, man. And it is like one of those things you talk about, that like free labor and whatnot. And I've always been a believer that like the unpaid hours will get you paid.
Yeah.
Especially in the pursuit of a passion like that. And it's so cool from a young age, you got to do that and kind of experience the life of like gratitude in what you're doing and for what little you were getting at that time.
Yeah.
Because
I wasn't getting anything, and I knew that if I helped him, we would always have food and a place to stay. That was like the thing. So every night, like, if I did my job and helped him and he did his job, then we were good.
Yeah.
And so that was just the unspoken facts that we had with each other, and no man left behind. It was just us two, and we took care of each other as we went along. So
that's awesome. How much older was he?
He was only a couple years older than me. He just happened to be more in the tattoo when he got out of the military, and it was very hard to find an apprenticeship at the time. Like, very, gatekeeping, and there was no open source internet videos. Right. It was, you saw either on a magazine or a friend. It was kind of underground still, even at that time.
Yeah. I remember I was like the first kid at my high school to get a tattoo, and I got it like right after my 18th birthday. But it was one of those things, like back then you didn't see any kids with tattoos, and now it's actually, I mean, I don't know about here, but in New Mexico, you see so many kids with tattoos now.
Well, and I'll get parents that will call and say, my kid's 17, he wants a tattoo. I want to get him the best one I can. I'll pay for it. I don't care. I just don't want him to get something,
janky
at his friend's garage or some shit he's going to not like later, or him or her. And we just have to say no, because it's just not legal.
Okay. I don't know what like the, I guess age of consent would be in Texas.
But it just goes to show, right? Like, parents are stepping in because of their probably had an experience along the way, either a good one and or a bad one.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's step in here. Let's if we're gonna, if you're gonna drink, like, drink at my house and don't drive. That sort of mentality, So, and then it's like the older generation, from 30 to 50 right now, they're coming in with their ideas that they've always wanted, and now they have the time and the money, and they've climbed the corporate ladder in whatever sense it is to now they have freedom.
Right.
And so this is something they always want to do, and they want the best, and they find us, and that's kind of how it all goes down, you know. So
Yeah. I'm so thankful that I didn't have money for some of the tattoo ideas that I had when I
yeah,
was younger.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
because I would have some awful tattoos right now if I had the money for it back then.
totally.
Yeah, I mean, I have one on my upper back that I'm like, fuck, I wish I wouldn't. I got it like, like exactly what you're just saying. It was a guy that worked at the college I was going to, and he was doing them out of his living room.
Yeah,
And
there you go.
I saw one he had done on one of my buddies, on one of my teammates, and I might have been a little inebriated when I saw it because I thought it looked great.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh man, perfect. I was like, give me the guy's info. And like I texted him, I shot him over a picture of what I wanted. He's like, all right, cool. It was only $85. I was like, also probably a bad sign, or a sign that it was going to be bad. This was 2009. And brother, it hurt so bad. He
Yeah.
had such a heavy hand. I had like burn blisters on my back.
Oh,
Like
sure.
I was trembling the entire time. And like a third of the way through, he's like, all right, man, go take a look and see what you think. And I go and I look in the mirror, and I just wanted to walk into oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it looked like someone chewed on a pen and sneezed on my back.
Oh
Like it was so
God.
bad.
You know, I've done that too, you know,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
I've
I've
done
done that.
both. I've done, you know, tattoos in garages, and I've gotten tattoos in garages, and I've gotten tattooed in good shops, bad shops, and it's like learning what not to do type of thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Anyone that does like works with people one on one. I mean, I could go back and look at like old programs I wrote for clients and be like, oh my God, that's embarrassing.
Yeah,
But yeah,
100%.
yeah, I just didn't know any better at that time. You know,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I think this is good programming, but it's again with the evolution of everything. I'm like, oh no, that was terrible. I remember the first like strength training gig I got, like working with athletes at the beginning of the internship. They're like, all right, write a 3-day program for a high level college soccer or a high school soccer player. And then at the end of the internship, we'll go back and review it. And even in that like 5-6 week span, like looking back at that original program, I was like, oh my God, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprising what, you know, you can get away with in the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked at our first shop. It was in Florida, and you know, it was on the beach, walk-ins. You know, people with fish bowls full of liquor and bare feet and sand, and pick something off the wall, and the guy selling the tattoos ripping them off, and the fucking tattoo artist is on drugs, and the shit's just fucking rolling downhill from
Dang.
very first interaction, you know, and that's just how it was, you know. If you did a bad tattoo, I mean, there was no consequence, you know. It's you're never gonna see them again, and they got the money, and
Yeah.
so, you know, I mean, those days, you know, are in the past for a reason, because I think that's a people learn through the shows and
Yeah.
you know, Ink Master and Miami Ink and LA Ink or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of, it was right around that time, you know, where people really didn't know what was good, and there was no like public opinion on a good or bad tattoo.
Right. It's crazy for me to see some of these artists coming out. And I say now, and they might have been doing it for a while, but there's so much color saturation in some of these tattoos that like just really pops. I see a lot of these tattoos that look like patches
Mm-hmm.
that are like done on people. And I mean, they just look so good. I'm like, God, when I got my first tattoo in 2009, I wasn't seeing anything like this.
No, for sure not. The thing, it's all changed. The technology, even the machines that we're using, you know, the needles are all, you know, standardized and sharp.
And sharp.
You know, like it's just it never was like that. A lot of times we built our own needles, or you know, we're using janky metal tubes that have been cleaned and used a million times. They're just all beat up, and you know, the machines get out of tune fast. The old school ones, they're heavy. They're, you know, not made for fine detail,
Yeah.
and so that's been probably one of the biggest changes. You know, the technology.
I was going to ask about that because that's something I've noticed too. I see the last couple tattoos I've gotten, it's like a little wireless. It almost looks like a little microphone,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
And I'm like, it doesn't even sound the same.
No,
Yeah,
not
it's
even
way
close.
quieter.
Yeah. It makes the experience, I mean, that much better, right? You not hearing this loud machine going, or 8 or 9 of them if you're in a busy shop, you know. But you know, that's nostalgic to me, you
Yeah.
know, in a lot of ways. So
Yeah, I have a picture hanging in my apartment. I got it at a tattoo shop in Bogota, Colombia, but it's like a a character of like an old tattoo gun.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is nostalgic, and even like that sound.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong, it's almost like a dentist drill, where like you kind of get chills when you hear that sound. You're like, oh fuck, it's getting real.
Yeah, and he's like kind of testing it out, like buzzing it a
Yeah,
little
me
bit
me
before
me.
you're ready to go and shit. The
Oh
foot
god.
pedals and all that. Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a figment of my imagination or maybe my skin's gotten a little thicker as I've gotten older. But do the newer tattoo guns hurt less?
Yeah, they're way less traumatic
Okay,
for sure.
yeah, they're just smoother.
Yeah. It's just constant, it's tuned. It's like, a muscle car versus like a new Ferrari or something, right?
Oh
Like it's
yeah.
just going to be better, smoother. It's going to work the same every time. It's not going to blow a fucking gasket in the middle of a, tattoo or whatever.
Yeah, and I fuck, it's almost like a muscle car versus a Tesla. I feel
Yeah.
like the sounds, you know.
Yeah. That's probably a better analogy, to be honest.
Um, Now I'm curious to see, because you've been doing this for almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
Um, and so kind of going like new school versus old school. Like I feel like a lot of people have the idea of like tattoos like a rite of passage, like you need to endure the pain to get it. What is your stance on numbing cream?
Numbing cream, I mean, it's I try not to use it and try not to encourage people to use it, especially before the process starts. It can kind of turn your skin like puffy,
Hmm.
almost like you were in the bathtub too long or something like that.
Okay.
And I know that it makes the healing process, a little bit harder. It's like borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. It's gonna maybe dull some of the pain in the beginning, but after it wears off, it's gonna come back with a vengeance. The healing could potentially be not as good, so you may have to come back for touch up that maybe otherwise would not have been necessary. Um, but and in the same token, I still use it
Yeah.
toward the end of a tattoo. If
What's
it's
this spray called? Bactine.
Bactine is one. It has a low level of lidocaine in it, and it has enough to take the edge off after a long day. Get you through that last hour or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's everything from anesthetic to nerve blocks. Depends on what you're into.
Yeah. So I have a kind of a bigger chest piece, and I don't know what, actually it started when I got my back tattoo. I started having like weird like sternum pain. And I think it's because I was like in like such intense like flexing when he was doing my back tattoo, that ever since then, like I pop ribs out. And I think it's like rotation through like my T-spine, especially in Muay Thai, like when I'm throwing a lot of kicks, like if someone pulls on the back of my head and clinch, like I'll pop a rib out in the back and it'll hurt for weeks. So when I got the tattoo on my chest, I had asked the artist about it. Cause I was a concern. I was like, I think I'm going to be tense for too long and pop a rib out. And he's like, well, I use this numbing cream on my stomach. I think it's from another country. It's like TKTX or something like that. And I'm like reading the label of it, and it's poorly written. Like the grammar is bad. Like you can tell it's from another country. And then some of the other like stuff like was in another language. But man, I kid you not, that shit numbed me up for a good 3.5, 4 hours. Like
Okay.
he was just hammering. It's a very colorful tattoo, and he was just hammering away at my sternum. But then he did go over a spot that like the numbing cream wore off. And I like jolted. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He's like, you okay? I was like, yeah, no, I'm fine. I just was not expecting that.
Yeah. No, I think too, if there's that, right? Like it does work. Like say you have a palm sized tattoo on the back of your kneecap or your upper thigh or something, right? Like, yeah, numb it, blast it out. And, it's a tough spot. No one's going to hate on you. But if it's my sessions are 8 hours long.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? You got to do it either the first 4 hours or the last 4 hours.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we try to make it comfortable, but not impede the process. It's messy. I've had guys put on the stuff way too early and wrap it, and they come in and they can taste it.
Ah.
It's like metal taste in their mouth. It's in their skin. It's Chinese chemicals that are just absorbed straight into your bloodstream. So, I mean, there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that's something I want to be using regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah. After I got my chest done, I ended up getting a tattoo on my stomach, which I very much felt. And yeah, that one was brutal. What do you think is the worst spot?
Yeah, I mean, depends on the day. How you're feeling. Wherever the sun doesn't shine is probably a good place to start,
Yeah.
Inside of any limb, is probably going to be pretty spicy. Your upper torso, anywhere. I know I've had, big, giant, tough dudes have a hard time getting their whole back tattoos, just nerves and ribs and thin skin all over the place. So it just depends on the person too, man.
Yeah.
It's how you're wired, you know?
Yeah. When you mentioned the back of the knee, that's somewhere I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd ever get that. I want to get like a traditional Thai tattoo, like on the front of my thigh, but I want to do that like stick and poke in Thailand.
Okay.
Um,
I mean,
and
that's also brutal. They
the stick and poke.
Oh yeah, they hammer that shit right
Yeah.
into you.
I've heard I've heard. Have you ever
It's
had
a
that?
whole experience. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any stick and pokes?
I don't know.
Yeah. There's a spot in New Braunfels that does it.
Okay.
I wouldn't go there for a Thai tattoo because if I'm gonna get a Thai one, it's going to be in Thailand.
Yeah.
But I've toyed around with the idea of maybe getting something smaller there just to kind of see what it feels like. But I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't gone that route yet.
Yeah, I can't imagine there's much of a difference.
I don't know.
If they're using the same needles, they're just poking you regardless. So.
Yeah. So we had mentioned earlier, UFC fighters and their tattoos.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like the evolution of the game. You see like some really bad tattoos, some really good tattoos. Do you have any fighters that like stand out to you? I mean, I know Cub Swanson has a ton of tattoos. He just retired.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the fighters, you kind of can see some of the evolution with their style and taste, I think Charles Oliveira is a good example.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of leaned into the more realism. I know he's got his stuff redone a couple times, so it's like as they get money and they get more popular, it's like they fix all the shit they got when they didn't, in the beginning. So, you can match up guys' styles with their tattoos, their personality and training, discipline. If you see guys like Ilya Taporia, right, his tattoos are immaculate, all cohesive and tells a story and looks like they were all done at once by the same artist and looks like he had a plan.
Yeah.
And I feel like he's one of those guys when he goes in there, he's got a plan.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And there's some guys that have messy tattoos and are jumping around and they go in and they fight like that. They're wild, It's like kind of predictive of their fighting style in a lot of ways.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I had never thought about that. But I think of the first one that comes to mind is, Darren Elkins?
Okay, yeah.
Darren the Damage Elkins. In his chest, it looks like it's like stitched in. It says the Damage.
Yeah.
And he's just, again, like kind of a wild, scrappy. Actually, Charles Oliveira's first fight was against Darren Elkins. He subbed him like fucking 12 years ago.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how iconic they can become too, right? Because it's one of the only sports where you're just wearing shorts. So, I mean, all of your tattoos are going to show.
Yeah. I mean, look at Connor.
So, yeah, you see the guy and you associate the tattoo with the guy. I'm sure if you just showed a picture of certain fighters' tattoos, you'd be able to know who it was without the face,
That's a good point. Yeah. And then you got to put it on a video game.
Yeah, and it's on a video game and it's, they get them when they're hurt. And they got shit else to do and they need an adrenaline buzz and they get excited and call me,
Yeah.
I'm like, hell yeah. He's like, I'm hurt. Got 6 weeks.
Yeah. Gives it time to heal up.
Yeah. So,
ugh. Yeah. Sean Brady?
Yeah.
Yeah. His tattoos are great.
Yeah. He's crazy covered,
Yeah. Solid leg pieces, massive tattoo on his back.
Yeah.
But now that you say that, like he's very much like a jujitsu, like flowy. His striking's good. Don't get me wrong. Obviously. I mean, at that level, everybody's good at everything. But I think jujitsu is kind of like his sweet spot.
Yeah. It's a certain personality that can withstand that much dedication to a pain art, the art of the pain,
Yeah.
So you see a guy walk in there with tattoos like that. I mean, he's used to pain, obviously. I mean, what are you going to do to him,
Right. Choke him unconscious.
I mean, that's all you got.
Yeah. I've always thought that too. That's funny. Like when I see a tattoo or I see a fighter with tattoos, I'm like, all right, that guy can probably take a beating.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's got a lot. Yeah, I got a lot of work done.
It's not always a great quality in fighting to be able to take a beating, but
Yeah, having a good chin isn't necessarily like the best compliment. Like that guy can take a punch, maybe block a punch, maybe avoid a punch.
Yeah. And then there's the other side of it, that just pure discipline from like Islam and those guys, So you could go anywhere from all the way from Sean Brady and his style all the way to someone with no tattoos and what that means,
Yeah.
So, or what you think it means in their fighting style.
Interesting. You bring up a good point with like Islam and Habib, like, yeah, those guys didn't have any tattoos.
Yeah.
God, I think Jamal Hill has like the worst tattoo.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably up there on the worst.
Yeah, it's like a thumbs up or some crap on
there's
his
only
chest.
like 3 fingers on one side.
It's like a Mickey Mouse glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was a champ. Like you get money,
Yeah.
get that covered.
Yeah.
Get removed.
You can accidentally be the champ of the UFC, unfortunately.
I think he was. Yeah, no, he was hot at a tough time in the 205 division.
Yeah, if you look at Aljo, he did it. He accidentally got the belt and got lucky a couple defenses, and then he ran him up. You know,
yeah.
I mean, it's a circumstantial situation. You know?
Yeah. And I think Sean O'Malley kind of brought that up.
And now the title's in the hands of the rightful owner. You know? So shit rolls around. You know.
Yeah, luckily, I'm glad Peter Yan got that back.
Yeah.
Because I think he lost it in a shitty way, and then he kind of went through like a buzzsaw of opponents to like get back there. You know. And when you talk about like Aljamain winning it, like he kind of had some easy defenses at first, and then but they were talking to Sean O'Malley, and he was talking about how he's like, yeah, my first title defense was against Chito Vera. Chito Vera's tough as shit, but he's never been a champion, and unfortunately might not ever be. And I like Chito Vera a lot.
No, me too. He's awesome.
Yeah, but like I forgot who he was talking about. He's like, man, what an unfortunate draw for them. He's like, he got so and so for his first title defense. I got Chito Vera.
Yeah. Like Jack Dowell got it. Got one title defense, and Islam comes and takes from. It's like, what the fuck? You know? Like, he didn't even get a chance.
Yeah, Jack Della Maddalena's a beast too. I hope he. I mean, I don't know. Apparently there was rumor that the White House card main event was supposed to be Ilya and Islam at 170.
Okay.
I have no idea how true that was. Both of them have tweeted about it. Ilya going up to 170 be wild because he's like 5'6".
Yeah.
But he's tough, and his boxing is so nasty, and his wrestling is allegedly like top tier. You never see him use it because his boxing is so good.
Everything he said he was going to do. It's hard to say he can't. You know?
Sure, I'm a huge fan of Ilya. He's like the shit talking of Conor, like when Conor was in his prime and like kind of like just manifesting like what he was doing. I think the only reason why Ilya is not as popular is because he doesn't speak English. If people could hear the shit he was talking in English, he'd be just as popular as Conor was.
Yeah.
Because it's good. Like he's well spoken. Like he knows what he's saying. He's not punch drunk. He's not like Sean Strickland or like one of these guys that'll talk shit and it's kind of funny, but it's also like doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Like he knows what he's saying, and again, it's really good. And like even the shit he's saying to like Justin Gaethje now, he's like, I'm sorry, Justin, like it's over for you. Like this isn't personal, like kind of shit. I'm like, damn, that's kind of ruthless.
It's cold as fuck. It's like that when Khabib was fucking beating that guy up, telling him, you know, okay, man, just give up.
Just give up.
This is my shit, right?
Could you imagine? Some dude's beating you up.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, maybe I should just give up. Yeah, I love it too, man. I wasn't the biggest Khabib fan.
It's hard to deal with that sort of confidence, you know?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, dude, what are you supposed to do? But again, that's what Conor, I mean, he did it to Aldo, and Aldo is one of the greatest UFC fighters ever and one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time.
True. That is true.
And he got him to like get out of his routine. Like Aldo never came forward with that kind of pressure. And Conor like agitated him enough to where he blitzed him, and Conor, you know, got him with that check hook.
Yeah, I mean, Ilya's got a whole country behind him. He's the fucking king of Spain, you know?
Yeah.
Shit, I mean.
And he's also, I think he's part Georgian as well.
Yeah.
Or maybe I forget what his ties with Georgia are.
Georgian,
Yeah. And we see how nasty Marab's wrestling is. Marab's from Georgia. So again, I hear Ilya has really good wrestling. But he just starches everybody.
Get there.
Yeah, never gets there. By the time the opponent gets to the ground, they're unconscious.
Yeah.
And he's one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah, I mean, after this White House card, if he I'm a huge fan of Justin Gaethje. I'd love to see him win in America for the title defense and put the gloves away and just ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
You know, but that's here nor there. And I think Ilya, if he does get it done at the White House, he's going to be massive. Absolutely massive.
Especially
all the guys on there. If you win on that card, you got Pereira, 3 belts.
Yeah.
You got Hogart, fucking last minute.
Yeah.
You know, Hogan or whatever. Yeah.
Hogan, yeah. He trains out of Albuquerque. He wasn't there when I was training fighters. Yeah, he's like one of the last few, or one of the rare few guys still at Jackson Wink that's like doing something. Him, Aaron Pico. Yeah, man, that card, like, yeah,
O'Malley.
It's O'Malley.
You know,
yeah.
fuck. I mean,
there's still some good fights on there, man.
I think everyone on there is fighting for their last fucking fight. I mean, you cannot lose that fight.
No,
dude, if you're gonna do anything.
I don't know who Bo Nichols fighting, but I know Bo Nichols on that card too.
He's on there, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have it all remembered, but yeah, dude, the heavyweight fight between Pereira and Gon, that's gonna be sick because neither one of those guys can grapple.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, and they're both like very well established kickboxers. And Alex Pereira is more Muay Thai, but Cyril Gahn was a nasty
You got
kickboxer.
two of the most insane heavyweight fights ever made on
Yeah.
that card.
Yeah, Derek Lewis versus Holgate.
God.
Yeah, that one's gonna be insane. It's gonna be a great card. I'm really excited. Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. I'm also really excited for the Netflix card. Have you seen that?
I did see that actually.
Yeah, it's
I
some
talked
older
about
names,
that.
but like still entertaining.
Yeah, good names.
Yeah,
They
Ronda
all-
Rousey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody wants to see her fight anymore. But,
Well, I want to see it for the show
you
of
got
it, the circus.
Ngannou on there.
Ngannou.
fucking shit.
Alex Pereira's little sister's on the card,
Yeah,
and I've seen highlights of her, and she looks nasty.
I can imagine. Yeah, that'll bring more eyes to the sport. More casuals, more cultures.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has Netflix, right?
Yeah,
I don't, but everyone else does. I have Paramount.
yeah. And then there's one of the most nasty fights probably coming up is the Strickland Hamzat fight.
Yeah.
They're not even going to allow him in the same Paramount, face-off thing where you got guys like when they did it with Holloway and Charles, they're shaking hands,
Super
and
respectful,
smiling, and apparently you got to be in there for like 20 minutes, so it's just beyond awkward the way it is.
Yeah.
And then you got fucking Hamzat and Strickland. They're like, there's no fucking way we can have these guys in here together. It's just not possible.
Yeah, I think Chimaev is very much like about that action. Like he'll fight.
Yeah.
He would fight Strickland in a bathroom.
100%.
Especially Strickland. I'm a Strickland fan overall. Again, I think his shit talking's kind of dumb. I don't think he's like punch drunk dumb. And I don't mean this in any sort of disrespect way. And he's spoken about it many times. But he's just not like very well educated. Like I don't think he made it past like mid school. You know what I mean?
And I feel like those guys, that he's talking about, they don't forget shit that you say. You know what I mean? It's like most fighters, like probably forget half the shit that he says.
Yeah.
And not, but it's like you saw the Russian guys beat up whatever his name was, that guy in the crowd.
Oh,
Dylan Dennis for a tweet he said 6 years ago or some shit. They finally caught him.
Wait till I catch you in person.
It's like they're going to get you one way or the other. It's like, maybe tone it down a little bit. Just
especially when you're attacking someone else's like religion and their family. And like, this is where I don't like Conor. And I'm overall a Conor fan, but like when he was saying shit about like Khabib's dead dad, it's like, you don't say that kind of stuff, man. And it, like now you're making it like super personal, and you're not just selling tickets anymore. Like you're attacking a person.
Well, you're putting yourself in a real dangerous situation, right?
Especially with
There's
those
only
guys.
a ref in between you guys. Like it's not a lot of protection if someone really is trying to hurt you and kill you or whatever. You know, like look at what happened with Yuri. Kicked that guy, kind of felt a little, hesitant, like kind of felt the he's hurt thing, and then he almost slowed down a little bit and he paid for it, but that's not gonna happen.
No.
Like if the ref is a little too far away and Hamzat's got your fucking face in his arm, he's gonna rip your fucking face off.
Yeah. I mean, him and Robert Whittaker, they had no beef.
Yeah.
And Robert Whittaker was able to tap fast, but he still broke his jaw and pushed his teeth back with how quick he was able to sink that in.
That's what I'm saying.
And it wasn't even like a blood choke. It was just the pressure on his jaw that made him tap.
And it looked like one of the fastest taps you've ever seen.
Especially from Whittaker.
Yeah.
That's a UFC Hall of Famer as soon as he retires.
Yeah. Good luck for the security guys on that one.
Oh, dude, that's going to be tough. Yeah, because...
Good for the fans. I mean,
good for the fans. Yeah, good for us, right?
It's entertainment.
I don't have to be in there doing it.
Seriously.
Yeah, man. I think there's good shit talking and there's bad shit talking. I think, somewhere between Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali shit talking is where you want to be for selling tickets. But I think you're right. If man, Gaethje looked really sloppy against Pimlet. He got the win, which is great, but like his striking, like he kept like dipping off to the right and just throwing haymakers. And I don't think Ilya's gonna like let that stand for long.
Yeah, you're right. You're probably right about that.
Yeah, I think
anything could happen.
Anything could happen. Yeah, Gaethje got hard. So they've done studies on Gaethje. He has like more dense bones than the average human and like better connective tissue than the average human. I had an interview with him. I think it might have even been on Rogan. It was him and his coach, Trevor Whitman, and They're talking about how they did a study on him, and like only one other person in the UFC like that they'd ever tested had like denser bones, and it was Yoel Romero.
Okay.
And there's a lot of like weird things about Yoel Romero, like growing up in Cuba and like maybe being part of like government testing, and like because they're like he has his connective tissue behind his eye is like 3 times more dense than the average human. It's like he's also 46 and looks like a fucking Under Armour mannequin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Yoel Romero might have had some government test done on him. He went in Steve Rogers and came out Captain Cuba.
Yeah. I think he's still fighting, isn't he?
He's doing the bare knuckle fighting.
Yeah.
Which, have you ever been to a bare knuckle fight?
No, I haven't.
Brother, they are so brutal.
Is it? No, man. Yeah, I suppose.
Not every state allows it. Like I've been, the first one I went to was in Denver, and that was Luke Rockhold and Mike Perry was the main event. But that was the first time I had like seen it in person, and it was like so brutal. Like no one's leaving there not bloodied or broken. Even the winner.
Right.
Like, you know, they're probably breaking their hand. You know, I have they do it in Albuquerque. New Mexico's reckless with their fight promotions and how they fight. Like I fought on a Muay Thai card. It's a big Muay Thai card, but I was on the amateur side, and even that, all elbows were legal. There was no pads, no headgear, no shin guards, no elbow pads. It was full rules Muay Thai. Most states do not have amateurs without pads.
Right.
Like even my coach here, Sean up at Ambush Muay Thai, I sent him a video of my last fight, and he's like, "This is an amateur fight?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why weren't there elbow pads?" I was like, "New Mexico's just different."
Yeah, it's state to state, right? I mean,
yeah,
all the commission.
Yeah, so I've seen a couple of bare knuckle fights in Albuquerque as well.
Okay.
There's some UFC fighters are going in there and having good runs, like Mike Perry, John Dodson. He's a champ at 135. He's 4-0, 5-0. You see some guys, Eddie Alvarez, Chad Mendez, like some guys have gone in there. But you see a guy like Luke Rockhold. He tried it out and it wasn't for him.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Perry's the perfect guy for that.
Absolutely. He's like the BKFC Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he's perfect.
People love him.
Yeah.
But now he's fighting Nate Diaz on the Netflix card.
I know, good for him. Even more clout, cheese, and the whole ball of wax for him. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, he was talking about how he made more money in BKFC than he ever did in the UFC.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, I'd hope so, dude. You're taking some years off your life.
Exactly. Right? No doubt.
So when did you move to Texas?
I moved here in 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, so I came down here for South by Southwest just with some friends, and everywhere I went at the time, I mean, I had to work to get there. So I just came and did a couple days guest spot at a tattoo shop here, and then was able to like experience South by Southwest. So I did that, met a bunch of people, and ended up just coming back and back and forth until I had more clients here than I did at home, and then moved here.
That's awesome. When did you make the full-time move?
It was in 2012.
It was 2012.
So it was very shortly after my first visit, maybe like within 6 months.
And when did you open up your shop?
I worked at a bunch of street shops and kind of just built my clientele, and then had my own private studio in 2015. And I lived in the same place I worked, every day, and which was, good use of time, right?
For sure.
No driving around, nothing, just wake up, tattoo, go to sleep, wake up, do it all over again. Yeah. There's write-offs and things I never experienced, so I got to learn, what makes sense, keeping the costs low, that sort of thing. And the pandemic came around, kind of shut everything down, and but it was a little bit of an opportunity for me to reevaluate, what I want to do, and do I want to be alone and work in a studio by myself, or do I want to open this up and bring artists and build a business? And ended up just buying a house, moving out of the studio, and started turning each room into, tattoo spots. Got a few artists, sponsored some O2 visas from artists from around the world.
Oh, wow.
Different styles. And I think that's one of the things that sets us apart, is you can get any style from an amazing artist that is the best at that, one of the best in the world at that style.
Okay.
So we work with a lot of professionals, it's high level, whatever.
Big ticket items.
Yeah, well, it's big ticket, but it's a big decision at the same time. So we try to facilitate, that more professional kind of style.
Yeah.
And now our next move is by summer. I built a brand new building owner occupied, made for tattooing. The experience, it's all built for the clients and the artists to have the best experience. So, going from a train and a skateboard to, owner occupy a building is a long
It's
ways.
a big jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats, man.
Thanks. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I've seen you posting about the new build.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's gonna be open by summer.
Yeah. We're in the last window, with the contracts for finishing and just waiting on the occupancy permit, little fire, fire code inspection and little things like that.
Okay.
So
You've been doing this for a long time. How did you do artists? And you can tell me your process and versus like others if there's a big difference. But how did you like gravitate towards your style? Was that something you just found yourself like doing more and more of, or were you doing a bunch of different styles and you found out like, oh well, I'm doing these ones the best? Like, what was your process when it came to developing your style?
really developing my style, I was, tattooing walk-in. So any style,
Mm-hmm.
I got efficient at every style. And then I was able to kind of work with an artist that I wanted to do kind of like his kind of style, freehand, but black and gray, realism. That's the kind of tattoos I wanted to get. Those are the tattoos I wanted to see. And so it was very easy for me to dive into that version of it. And when I first kind of got into it, there were, especially here in Austin, all the tattoo shops were mainly traditional style, bold lines, color. I mean, amazing, right?
Yeah.
And so I was, one of maybe two or three other artists in the city that really did black and gray well, and or was willing to do it. And so any tattoo that came into the shop that was black and gray, there was six other artists that did one style, and I did this. And so naturally, I got all of the clients,
Yeah.
and it kind of developed from there. And I started to realize that, oh man, if I'm going to do this realism stuff, I really need to like study like academic drawing and painting and understand the masters and what makes a good work of art regardless of the medium.
Mm-hmm.
So I studied in Italy, took
Oh
a
wow.
bunch of classes at the Barcelona
No
Academy,
shit.
studied in Malta. I think I've been to like 300 churches
Wow.
just to see the art and, study it. I would sit in the church, and look at the paintings and draw them in a little notepad and have my mentor like critique them. And so then when I came back from, those trips, I had a new, you know, tool, or I had a new concept or something that I wanted to implement into the tattooing. And slowly that developed along with the technology and the ability to, switch out different needles quickly
Yeah.
to do a tattoo that may have taken, two or three sessions in one. And and so, that's kind of like how the style has been getting developed and pushing the boundaries, like how much shadow can I have in this tattoo and still have it read, or how dark can it dark how much contrast can I get out of this
Mm-hmm.
particular design, or what kind of philosophy can I put behind the artwork that isn't necessarily reliant on the subject, right? Like if you wanted a lion or a skull or a girl face, like I can kind of use the same recipe, right? Like, okay, I think in general, life is, 70% beautiful and in the light, and in the dark, 30% of life is dark. But
Mm-hmm.
where it's dark, it's really dark. So I make my shadows darker than they are in the picture. And, you know, in the light, I make things more beautiful than they might have to be. If you want to make something more beautiful, you make it longer in general, right? Long eyelashes, long hair, long legs, long neck, right? So
Mm-hmm.
those are things that you can add to the reference that you're looking at to give it more of a feeling, I guess. And so, implementing those art rules from the masters, and then, the fundamentals from the tattooing, and then along with what people stories they want to tell, I'm able to like add, you know, a philosophy that's gonna kind of shine through the subject, if that
Hmm.
makes sense.
Yeah. That's awesome. Pretty amazing process.
Yeah.
I mean, the dedication of like traveling to better your craft.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, again, that kind of goes back to like the fighting shows, a lot of like discipline.
Hmm.
And interesting. I mean, I from what I've seen just online, you can kind of see the old like church influence, like that old like almost like I don't want to say gothic, but that's the term that's popping in my head. But the dark contrast,
Yeah.
really cool. Like I said, we were talking about Shane's tattoo earlier, the American Gangster. Like when
Hmm.
I remember when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, like that is great. Cause you, what is it referred to like the negative,
Yeah,
like the.
negative space, some
Mhm.
like flowy kind of negative space tying everything together. You want to kind of catch into some anatomy, make it look nice on the body, that sort of thing. Was able to do that with Shane. Kind of gave me some freedom.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And then I saw Austin's thigh piece for his
Awesome.
first one. Yeah,
Love that guy. He's
yeah,
the best.
he's a character,
Yeah.
but
I've had the
also
opportunity to see him fight cage side. I've seen him in the gym, spent some time with him in the tattoo chair, know his parents. It's just, he's a ball of energy. It's
yeah,
just positivity.
good kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He's someone that like instantly I was like, all right, not only like has a good head on his shoulders, but like he's a genuinely like good kid.
Yeah. He really is.
And man, he's committed to it.
Yeah. He's good on the mic.
He is.
They love him there. I mean, at Fury, they don't give everybody the mic.
No,
You know?
but I think he's such a student of the game. Like he understands the
Yeah.
importance of that.
Yeah.
You know, because did you ever meet Dallas Dodd? Yeah, he's also really good on the mic.
Yeah.
But yeah, Austin, like I said, if you're a student of the game and you've watched all the greats, you kind of know like again, not to continuously bring up Connor, but Connor was great on the mics and that gave him so much hype at the beginning.
Yeah.
And Austin, yeah, when I had him on the pod, because I've been around him like personally countless hours. Not only doing his strength and conditioning, but like training at the gym, and then we would go shooting a couple times.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of like curious how he'd be like on the mic. He was very like professional.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, like you did a really good job here, man. I was like, it was a great episode.
Yeah. For being 18 years old, I mean, to have that sort of poise is pretty impressive.
Yeah, no kidding. And then also to be that talented. Yeah, the kid's nasty.
Yeah, he's good.
But yeah, the tattoo on his side was great. You know, have you gotten? I mean, it sounds like obviously, but are there tattoos that people come to you with, and you're like, I don't want to do that style?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the beauty of our shop is we have a system that is going to direct the client to the best artist for that style. So someone's going to want me to do it, but it's not my style. We have someone that can do that, and generally they'll take our advice. But yeah, I mean, I would say maybe 1 out of 10 tat inquiries that I get, I maybe accept or
Oh
am
wow.
able to do over. A lot of the guys that I'm tattooing are getting large scale pieces, and they're coming in once, twice, 3 times a month sometimes, so that right there, that's one person taking up a pretty good chunk of your schedule. So you can't have a ton of clients, right? If I had 50 clients, that would be too many.
Yeah, quality over quantity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
It's kind of like you were saying in the beginning, and it's similar for coaching. Like you take everything you can when you're first doing it, and when I first started training, a lot of my clientele was like knee replacement and like hip replacement clients, and I'm like, I'm certified for Olympic lifting. Like I don't want to do this. Like I want to work with athletes. But I'm so grateful that I got that experience because it's reps with people. You are working with different people that makes you better overall at working with everybody.
Yeah.
So it's getting to experience and being exposed to demographics that you wouldn't typically, or you wouldn't find ideal at the beginning. But then you work your way to a point where you're like, all right, cool. Now I'm only working with like this demographic. Don't get me wrong. I don't only work with athletes, but it tends to be like functional training people that want to get better at golf or surfing or whatever. Like, yes, I will train professional athletes. I have professional baseball players, fighters, whatever. But when it comes to like accepting whoever, like I'm like, no, if you want to do bodybuilding, I could do bodybuilding, but I'm not the best at it. Like, let me send you to someone who's better at training for bodybuilding. And it sounds like it's kind of similar with your shop.
Yeah, no, it's very much the same. And you're doing that in the beginning, taking everything. Now you're gonna find out what you want to do, what you don't want to do. You're gonna learn sales because that's
Hmm.
a big part of it. Bedside manner, things like that. You don't want to just jump into the deep end, right?
Yeah. Do you hit up any like big like tattoo festivals?
Not as much anymore. I mean, it's really more of like a social kind of fun thing to do. You don't really get a whole lot of benefit. In fact, it can be counterproductive.
Oh, interesting.
Let's say all you do is go from state to state, convention to convention. You're reliant on the weather or the promotion, or there's a lot of factors that could stop people from coming. And then when you get home, you don't have any more clients, so it can be bad.
Yeah, it can be detrimental.
And it's hard to make money at a tattoo convention unless you're pre-booked, and it costs money. You gotta fly there, you gotta get a hotel for 3 days. There's a lot of overhead. So if you want to go out and enjoy and meet other people and artists, it's a good thing to do, but it's not a great money making thing
Mm,
anymore. I think it used to be a little bit more.
interesting. I never thought about that. I used to go to one in Albuquerque all the time, and I've always wanted to like go to a tattoo convention and like just get like a random ass tattoo. And I think I'm at the point now where I have enough tattoos. I can get a couple random ones. Obviously, the first couple ones you're always like, oh, I want it to be meaningful, but now I just want like good pieces of art.
Yeah, and you might go to one and find an artist that you may never have seen before and get something that you wouldn't have the opportunity to get. So for people out there looking for that thing, I think they should do that more.
Yeah,
Go explore different artists. It's hard to if you maybe see them on Instagram, but how you gonna know? How you ever gonna talk to them?
yeah,
You maybe you see something you like, you don't want to get it that day, but you found that guy, and now you can make the appointment.
yeah, yeah. That's good. A good point because, like I said, the first couple tattoos that I got here in Austin, I don't even know how I got set up with oh yeah, I was a guy at the gym, had some good kind of like American traditional style, almost like a combination of American traditional and like Rob Zombie type art.
Okay.
Like a lot of like ghouls and like purples and greens and like stuff like that. And so I went to him for my first tattoo here in Austin. He's great. He's at Snake Eyes Tattoo now. His name's Chris Bishop.
Okay.
So I went to him for the one I have on my chest, and then I found another artist. She was actually training at 10th Planet, and we'd followed each other for a while. And I saw that she did like some good line work, so I've gone to her for some kind of like I got some Roman numerals on my trap. But yeah, like I said, I've kind of been looking for someone to finish up this one. I got this from a buddy in Albuquerque that I played baseball with, and he's owned his shop out there forever. But yeah, it is hard to like find those artists, especially like when you move to a city. I'm like, I don't fucking, it's like I've always said this, finding a good barber and a good tattoo artist, like you'd never leave those people.
Yeah, and those are probably the first people you want to meet when you go somewhere because they're probably hooked up.
Yeah.
They know where to go. They know everyone. And
Yeah.
point you in the right direction at least.
So what, you got the shop opening up in hopefully in summer, yeah?
Yeah, we'll be open by summer.
Very nice.
Yes, sir.
You got anything else coming up? You're not really doing any tattoo festivals?
No tattoo festivals, really. We'll just be in Austin. We're going to be putting on events. We're going to be doing some art galleries, some art workshops, working with some event people. I think Austin, the Still or something like that, a whiskey company
Oh,
here.
nice.
They got some stuff for us. Babalu cigars. It's going to be wild. We got a lot of people waiting for this to open. So
Nice.
everyone's asking me when it's going to be open, and I feel like they think I know the answer, and I'm not telling them.
Gatekeeping.
I just don't know. It's a building, so construction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna throw like a big like grand opening
We're
event?
gonna have a soft opening, grand opening, the whole ball of wax. Yeah, it's gonna be wild for sure.
Very nice. I'll have to pay attention. I'll roll up with Shane.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the whole crew.
And now, so I see you on your Instagram doing like a lot of like cold plunge, sauna. When did you get into this?
My brother got me into it actually. He did a Wim Hof thing.
Oh, wow.
He's like outdoor survival kind of guy. Bare
say Wim Hof's pretty serious.
Yeah. They did a like shorts hike in the mountains in Sweden or something like that. And that's just whenever I would go, he lived in Washington on a river, and we would go in the ocean and freeze our asses off. And then when I moved here, I would always look for it, and they weren't around. So I found it at the Collective.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Collective, my boys over there. And then I was like, it'd be cool to have this at home. And so I built a whole like it was made for fighters. Like I wanted the UFC PI in my yard. Like
Yeah.
that's was the goal. And so yeah, I got into the cold plunging with my brother, and yeah, I've been doing it ever since.
Speaking of that, Soundshed Studios, they built the sauna at UFCPI.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they're into that too.
I modeled my cold plunge and hot tub after their setup where they're right next to each other and they're like 8 person each. So you can,
Yeah, the UFCPI is amazing.
I've never been there. It's definitely on the list of things I would love to tour. So
Well,
Dana Mick, let me know.
Dana Mick, shout out. Yeah, I mean, when Austin makes it, I'm sure. I mean, because I've been there because of people I know. Like
Yeah.
I've never personally been invited. But man, once you get the invite, you're like, fuck, man, can I come back?
Yeah, dude.
It's so nice. Yeah, so I think modeling your setup after that was a wise decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause, dude, it's insane. It's everything you would want it to be. It's the nicest training facility I've ever been to, and I've been to some like elite ones. And I work at one of the best out there as well. But the UFCPIs, they leave no stone unturned.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, they have they have these pods, and I have no idea if there's ever any like factual stuff behind it. But they would like when they're giving me the tour, they're like, oh yeah, you can come up, fighters can come up to these like pods and take like a 20-minute nap, and it resets their body like a 4-hour nap. And I was like, what the hell? Like, how does it do that? But like they had an area where you can go play PlayStation. They had obviously all the training stuff. They have a full cafe, like they have docs on staff. I mean, going there with a fighter was like really, really cool to like kind of see the behind the scenes stuff. And it's attached to the Apex Center.
Yeah.
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 So they do a really good job.
Yeah, what a treat that'd be.
Yeah. I don't know why more fighters don't take advantage of it, to be honest with you. Because you don't have to, as a fighter, you don't have to pay to go train there. You can just bring your coaches and go train. So you see people go when they're in town, and that's probably part of the draw for like Extreme Couture or like Syndicate MMA. Like you're right there with the UFC headquarters. So like, why not go train at those two gyms?
Yeah, no, totally.
And they also have phenomenal coaching. That's obviously a big part of it. I know Austin's really enjoying his time up there.
Yeah, I get to meet his boxing coach. I think he came up from
nice.
down there in his last fight, and he's a legend. Yeah, I mean that whole gym is a legend.
Yeah, I got to go to Extreme Couture in 2021. I went there. I went for to see Rogan and Chappelle, but because of some connections I had, I got to go to to Extreme Couture and take a Muay Thai class over there. And you see Francis at this time, Francis Ngannou walking around, and there were a couple other UFC fighters. Claudia Gadelha was there. She was the fighter that I trained. Yeah, it's a good scene. People always ask about like Jackson Wink, because that's kind of where I cut my teeth at as far as being a coach, not my fight career, but which I have no fight career. I don't know why I said that. I had 2 amateur Muay Thai fights. There was good coaching at Jackson Wink, but also like the altitude. A lot of people would come train for the altitude. Like Alistair Overeem used to come to Jackson Wink to train, but he would bring his own coaches. Like Greg Jackson is a legend. Like that guy's legit. Yeah. But so they do have really good coaching there, but you see guys just come for like the altitude of it. So I like thinking about Vegas. I'm like, man, it's like no altitude.
Yeah. Is that a big effect, do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really see it come into play when they have fights in like Mexico City.
So when the fight's at altitude, I'm sure that's probably the biggest advantage then.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. If you fights at sea level, gas tank will always come into play, but you can still have a good gas tank at sea level. But the fights that are at altitude, people who aren't training at altitude, they like, no matter how good your gas tank is, you're going to get hit different.
Gotcha.
So, and like not that long ago, it was, I forget who was fighting. I want to say it was Usman. Was defending one of his belts, or defending his belt at up in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And I forget who he was fighting, but they looked so gassed. And it's one of those things where it's like, it's kind of unfortunate because lower level fighters can't afford to go out there 2-3 weeks in advance and continue their training. And it's a huge detriment compared to the guys that can do their whole camp at altitude. Usman trains in Colorado. People that train in Albuquerque like would have no issues going to Salt Lake City or Mexico City to fight. But you see the people that can't, like they get gassed bad. And I didn't realize it because I grew up out there. I went to college in Arizona though for baseball. And I remember coming back for Christmas break my freshman year, and I went to go run at my high school. I could just go run around the track, and my high school was like 6,500 feet. And I got like half a mile in and I was dying, just like snot running down my face, lungs on fire. Nasty.
Yeah, man. I mean, don't get caught getting beat up in the altitude.
Dude, it's yeah. Don't go to Albuquerque and get in a scrap. It's a bad time, and it's like drowning, man. It's like quicksand. Like when
Yeah.
you can't catch it, or if you're just out of shape and you go like spar. Like I remember, when I first moved out here, I went to a gym to spar, and it was like after several months of not training after COVID, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I feel like I'm just getting my ass beat, and I just can't catch my breath.
Yeah. It's like you have asthma or some shit.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. Have you ever done any sort of training at altitude?
No.
It's
I
brutal.
mean, I've been in the mountains and I know the deal. Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah,
It's
it's
hard out there.
cramping, dude. I ran through the fucking Mexico City airport trying to catch a flight. Calves are cramping.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell's going on right now?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's tough, and that's why. God, what was his name? Something Landis. He was like the U.S. cyclist after Lance Armstrong that was like kind of making a name in the Tour de France, and he got caught for blood doping.
Oh, okay.
And so what that is like you train at altitude or have a hyperbaric chamber, which I believe is how he was doing it. And then they like draw your blood while it's like super oxygenated.
Mm.
And then when you go into these competitions, they like re-inject that blood.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a huge advantage from training at altitude.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think they should do all flights at sea level.
Yeah. I mean, I did the hyperbaric chamber recently.
Oh yeah, Ways to Well.
Yeah. I went to Ways to Well with Rich from Fury. Hooked me up and we sat in those chambers and popped my ears, and my ears were popping hours after I was out of there, like slowly going. It was bizarre, but I don't know if it
Interesting.
helped me or not. But
Yeah, I don't know if it helped me or not. What was your experience with Ways to Well? You liked it?
yeah, I loved it. It was cool. The staff was super nice. We did the red light and the hyperbaric, and then IV rehydration. Yeah, it was a good little break.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Waste Wells, they do some amazing things. I'm a huge fan. Brigham's cool as shit. He used to come into On It when I first started. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's hard to get a hold of these days.
It's really cool. Their location, their building is sick.
I haven't seen it, but I think I actually am going to go do some training at their gym soon.
Yeah.
Because the gym looks sick too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a crazy view in the hill country, just a beautiful building. So you feel good just going there, you know. When you leave, you feel even better.
Yeah, I know they just had John Jones up there.
Yeah, there was a bunch of. There's Brett Favre was there.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, Brett Favre, Milwaukee, let's go.
Yeah, Green Bay legend.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're working with like the highest level athletes, and I think companies like that kind of being on the alternative health like path is huge.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously it's great for them and they're killing it, but you're starting to see like other companies start to open up, and I think the more we have of that and like the less big pharma, I think the better we'll be off.
I think all of us would probably be a little better off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, if you can get there, definitely check out Ways to Well. I mean, it's sick.
Have you done any work on Brigham? I know he's super tatted up.
No, I haven't. I haven't met him. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool dude. Yeah, I remember when I first met him, he had just gotten a tattoo, and I think it was something kind of random that I forget what it was, but there's kind of like a random story behind it. I was like, oh, that's weird. He's like, yeah, I just got it at this spot.
No, I haven't met him yet.
Yeah, cool dude. Like I said, they're doing great stuff over there. So I'm sure that those paths will cross.
Yeah, no, for sure. We'll go up there again.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try to go up there soon. Probably get more tattoos soon though.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, I'll jump on your book and see if I'm right for you.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. You got anything else you'd like to add?
Thanks for having me. I mean, this is sick, man. Your setup is awesome. If anybody wants to ever do their first podcast or second podcast, whatever, like this is the spot, man. It's awesome. I wish you the best. This is really cool.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
If you guys want to check out my work, it's Cory James Tattoo on Instagram, lostedgetattoo.com, and Lost Edge Tattoo on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all that. So look us up. We're in Austin. We're here for your tattoo needs, piercing needs, jewelry. We have a really cool partnership with a private jeweler. So we'll have some of the best jewelry in the state.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. You guys look forward to the opening, and we'll see most of you guys probably there.
Right.
Whoever's watching this.
Yeah. Shane and Austin are watching.
You probably got 2 or 3 viewers. So.
Yeah, at least. I hope. So is this going to be a new spot or a second spot?
This is going to be new.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be our flagship store. That's going to be like something that we can replicate down the line if we need to, and just have that place that you go, you're in Lost Edge.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, because it seems like you guys are doing more of like a personalized, like catered experience versus like just walking into a shop and you sit on a, random seat. Like it seems like there's much more attention to detail.
Yeah, there's a lot of attention just in general, with one-on-one with the client. We're getting to know each other, we're hearing each other's stories, it's like, top secret therapy shit. You have the lawyer kind of like an addendum to,
Yeah.
privacy and
Sign
that
an
sort of thing.
NDA.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, yeah, that's the whole point. I've had people recently like, they're like, oh man, I'm not addicted to the tattoo. I'm addicted to the storytelling. They get to tell their story through the eyes of a professional. It's like I'm there to like channel that for them.
Yeah.
It's just like a medium or something.
That's awesome. It's cool because I've seen like Austin do his little clip like while he's getting tatted. That should be the next step. Just set up some mics.
Yeah, we're hoping to do that actually. That'd be cool. It's a double-edged sword for me because I feel like anytime microphones and cameras around, things get a little tense in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so, I know that I appreciate my time without my phone and their time without their phone and microphones and cameras. And there's a space for that as well. So I want to try to find the middle ground of that, Some people are much more interesting and are more comfortable. And some people go there to get away. They don't want anything, they want to just chill.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that too.
For sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because like my barber, love him, but I'm like, stop talking. Like, I just want to, again, kind of relax for this 20 minutes that I'm going to be in your chair. Obviously very different than 8 hours in a tattoo chair.
I mean, a lot of times it's their only chance. They're busy, and they just want to watch a movie and get a tattoo.
And zone out.
And just let it go,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that would be a tricky one because not only people act a little different when the lights and cameras are on, but they might not get as deep into some stories with the lights and cameras on as they would without them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like, I got to leave names out of this.
Yeah. It definitely puts a barrier,
yeah,
to that connection. But yeah, we're gonna do more. I mean, we'll do more. I want to put like the YouTube videos out about the fighting and the tattoos, and we have some staff from the UFC. They're always cool doing interviews and stuff like that. So
sick.
We'll get the best of both. You can come and chill. We won't put any cameras and mics in your face. If you want to have a chat, we can do that. On the other side of it. So
yeah, you guys put out some great content actually. Like, especially compared to a lot of other like tattoo shops. So you guys put out like actual content.
Yeah, that's a big struggle I think with every business. How many reels they want you to put out just to get traction. It's like 10 a day or some, it's a impossible task really for anyone. So
yeah, you need a full team.
Yeah.
Like luckily, with this kind of stuff, I have a lot of people helping me, but like my personal training, like as a coach, brother, I'm the worst at it. Like I don't like being on my phone.
I hear you.
I don't want to film. I don't want to do any of that shit, which is funny because I just feel comfortable talking to people, but I don't like being in front of the camera. Like,
and I definitely don't want to edit.
Oh,
right?
Dude.
So it's like I did the thing. I even filmed myself doing it, and now I got to go watch it again.
Yeah,
5 fucking times. Like I already did it. Like I'm probably already on to doing something else that
I'm already over it.
Yeah. So
and dude, I'm not tech savvy.
It's a struggle, man.
Yeah, the editing sucks. That is the worst part for sure. Well, cool, man. I really appreciate you coming on. Looking forward to the soft opening and grand opening of the new shop.
Awesome, man.
It's gonna be badass. I'll definitely stop by. And man, let's get in some training.
Let's do it.
If you ever want to check out the cold plunges and saunas at Correct, or just come lift at Correct, let me know. I'll be happy to get you in.
I'm down.
Yeah, it's a good time. Have you ever been there?
No.
Oh, fuck, dude, come by.
Yeah.
It'll be a great time.
Let's do it.
Well, again, appreciate you coming on. This is normally why I ask people to shout out their Instagrams, but you already did that professionally. That was great. I appreciate that. Definitely looking forward to what you guys got coming out. And yeah, once I get my pocket a little thicker, I'll come see you.
There you go.
Yeah, it'll be a good time, man.
We'll work something out.
All right, cool, man. All right, well, again, this has been the Lions Pit Podcast. My guest today, Cory James, owner of Lost Edge Tattoo. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. We'll have to run it back after the grand opening. We'll have to see how things went.
Totally.
Shout out to Ghost Muay Thai. This is a new Muay Thai brand. Check them out. They're coming out with some really awesome designs for their shorts, gloves. They're sponsoring Coalition Muay Thai. So badass designs. And then shout out to Set. This is a new nicotine alternative pouches. That is SETT, getset.co. With both of those companies, use code THE PIT for a discount at checkout. And we'll see you guys next time.